Howdy, I'm Sara Flores. I am a fourth-year doctoral student in the health education program in the School of Public Health. I am originally from South Texas, a little town called Sinton, Texas. I did my undergrad at the University of Houston, go Cougs, and I transitioned directly from my undergrad to my doctoral program here at A&M. I was a little nervous at first, I really was, but the fact that my mentor, Dr. Casey Solari Williams, had found a community here, despite being a woman of color, despite being a woman, I knew I would find a place here, and I did. So I'm really lucky that despite my apprehension, I came, and I ended up finding my community. I came in knowing that I wanted to work in a young adult and adolescent cancer survivorship space. So I did a lot of work in adolescent health and improving access and experiences to care. For my dissertation research, I'm planning to work with young adult breast cancer survivors and looking at how their social networks impact their experiences when they're transitioning from active care to post-treatment follow-up. Because of my mother and her being hard of hearing, her disability, I learned to be an advocate and that communication broker, but I also experienced bullying when I was in middle school, and after that experience, I decided that I would never be quiet again. I think people supported my nomination for this award because of my character. It feels weird to say, to say that out loud, but it is hard. It's not an easy thing to do all of the time. It's still uncomfortable having uncomfortable conversations. But I do have them, and I will continue to have them.
My name is Sophia Ahmed, and I'm a fourth-year PhD student in material science engineering. The two people that gave me letters of recommendation were Dr. Mindy Bergman, the advisor of Queer Empowerment Council, and Dr. Bradford Garcia, the advisor for Queer Graduate Professional Aggies. And basically, I imagine they talked about how being president or co-president of those orgs, I helped get them registered, helped lead the orgs in directions that will help elevate the queer community. Basically, helping elevate the population here and making sure that queer students can find a place in the campus. I came here for school first. That's what's more important. So I try to focus most of my time on my PhD studies. And then if I have free time, I dedicate it towards organization work. But I have to know when to balance both. I just want to help set the foundation for future Aggies to come to the school and know that there's queer resources for them and make sure that these orgs will last and so that they're there. It's the first year of both of them. I just want to help set it forth on the right path so that whoever comes after me can be successful and let it persist on. The most rewarding thing that I've seen is building the community, especially, for example, with the Queer Graduate Professional Aggies. In the past, it didn't have as much visibility. Now it's on this school student organization website, and it's helping maintain the queer community here, make it stronger. So my family motivates me into doing what I do is because when they raised me, they did everything they can to make sure I was set up to have the best life possible. And especially now, given that my dad just recently passed in September, I want to do as much as I can to make sure that his wish was fulfilled. My dad would definitely be proud. I remember calling my sister after getting the email. It's damn, he would have been really happy at this.
I'm Chandler Ian Wilkins. I'm a fifth-year PhD candidate studying urban and regional science here at Texas A&M University. So I study the impacts of housing and disasters on communities. Particularly, I'm looking at the unmet needs of Houston public housing residents throughout recent disasters, so Hurricane Harvey, Winter Storm Uri, and COVID-19, really trying to figure out what are the needs that residents had throughout those disasters and what could have been done better to see how we can better support these residents in future disasters. So I've always had an interest in housing issues. When I was a young boy, my dad would drive us around Charlotte, North Carolina, where I'm from, and he would tell me stories about how particular communities were displaced. And so that started my ideas for housing issues. It wasn't until I came here and started researching with professors like Dr. Shannon Van Zandt and Michelle Meyer that I added the disaster component in. And so I look at both housing and disasters now. So I did my undergrad at Iowa State, and then one of my instructors there, it was her first time teaching her first class, and she just so happened to have came from Texas A&M. She got her PhD in the same program as me, and she told me about a research experience for undergrads program here at Texas A&M. So I applied, I got in, and then I came here for my master's, and I loved it so much with my faculty members, the research I'm able to do, and the community I was able to build. I decided to stay here for the PhD as well. I sat on a lot of committees and councils throughout these years, and I've been sure to tell Dr. Van Zandt about all of my experiences throughout that time, and I think the contributions I've made to the Texas A&M community is one of the reasons why she nominated me for the award. So what motivated me to take on these roles in the Texas A&M community is really that there's a lot of students here. We have 76,000 or 77,000, I forget the actual number, and it's very easy to take that big number and not see students as individuals. And each student has their own perspective, their own experience, their own story, their own reason why they are here at the university. And I want to make sure that we are supporting each student so that they feel, one, supported here. I want to make sure that they feel welcome here. And then also for the third one, I want to make sure that they can actually thrive at this university. The biggest reward for me is knowing that other folks are also doing the work, and they might have been inspired and motivated by me. So when I leave this university, I know the work is going to continue on beyond me because there are folks who are still fighting the good fight.